over 100 orders, and next thing I knew, I was winning local, statewide, and national championships with it.
Wow. How old were you when that started rolling?
17.
17.
Yeah. It's been
I,
about 3, 4 years. Yeah.
Dominique, what was you doing at 17?
I was still in high school, senior year, and I wasn't doing none of that. I was just a cheerleader in high school. That's it.
Just trying to graduate.
Just trying to graduate. That's it. That is it. Just trying to make the grades just to graduate. That's
Right.
it.
I didn't even know you cheerleaders. See, now we got a show for Dominique coming up within in a month. So not this show coming up, but the next show. I wish I could remember the date off the top of my head, but it's gonna be in the It's August 2nd. You sure? If I text it to you, that's what it is. So August 2nd, Dominique Walker. Yeah, she's the special guest. So we're gonna learn more about her and her cheerleading. I know she got a really nice story to tell us, and something that'll really inspire people. So, but but yeah, 17. What was I doing? Hating school. I think that's when I finally had kind of was like, I'm pretty much done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get my C's and slide on to college real quick. My basic old grade point average and whatnot. And you running a whole business.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. It was more towards the end of the semester because it was our final grade project. So it was going to be like a month or two before I graduated. So it wasn't really full-fledged until I came here to ODU. That's where I really got my start.
It was by the time
Did you make any things like the people in ODU, like the students and stuff,
What do you mean by that?
like with your food and stuff? Like, did you make anything for them to try out?
Yeah, so I actually work for the Strom Entrepreneurial Center, which is the building directly across the street. So we have a lot of expos and stuff. So when I first came here, I lived in Rogers, that building right there, and I actually used to make some samples when I went on break, and I used to knock on everybody's doors saying, y'all need to try this, y'all need to push for it. And that's how I really got my groundings here, and then meeting people like-minded entrepreneurs, other food entrepreneurs as well. That's another way that I made connections and got my samples out as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wanted to know that.
Okay. So I do want to get into. She got something else that's real cool that I wanted to talk about. But before we get there, I want you to talk about how beneficial or how important it was to have parents that were very supportive in your life.
So for those who don't really know me, I'm very, 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 very family oriented. So when I first started out, my parents supported me, but not to the point or to the degree that they do now. They really wanted me to focus on school when I came here, but once they saw that this was my true passion and that I was still going through and proceeding with school, they really had my back full-fledged. Even when I was younger, they always said, whatever you do, just make sure you love it, because if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And so just having people like my parents behind me really means something, because there's been days where I felt like I couldn't go to my friends who I even consider family, and I have to go to my mom and my dad and be so open and vulnerable to them, and having them not only be my parent but a friend, like a word of guidance, is really something that's held me down and been pushing me to go past the days that I thought I wasn't going to make it.
I can definitely relate to that, because with me doing makeup, I can tell that my mom still questions it, even though I'm doing pretty good for myself. She still be like, well, if you can do this and if you can do that. I'm like, Mom, I can do it. Like, just believe and just be there. So now that they see it, they believing now, because in the beginning, as a parent, they want you to focus on your studies and school and stuff. But once they realize, this is my child's dream, this is what they want to do, and once they see it, then they'll believe.
Exactly.
That's how it is with any parent.
Yeah.
Right. And so, what would you say you learned from each parent? Like, what was something that you took away from each one?
Well, from my mother, people who know me as like the kind person that I am, I definitely took her heart and her soul. She is the sweetest person that I know. That's my best friend. That is my ride or die. And she has me no matter what. I can mess up today and she still loves me. Now, my father's the same way, but he's definitely my tough love. The person who will yell in my face, look me dead in the eye, and look at a tear and say, suck it back up. This is not what we do. We push forward. And he said, nobody's going to love you the way that I love you. So he's like my dedication and the person who really has you know, yeah, I can't even explain it, but if he was here, he would know what I'm talking about for sure. Yeah.
My stepdad is like that versus my biological father. My biological father is, I'm his baby,
Yeah.
spoiled. But my stepdad, he give me that tough love. He'll tell me like, "Yo, effing up,
Yeah.
this, that,"
Yeah.
you know. So I can honestly relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my father kind of goes in between both. So he'll be the tough love, but then he'll be like, oh my God, I need money. Oh, $100 in your account, just like that. I'm like, I mean, a little bit more would be great.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But that's definitely, he goes in between both, but I can definitely count on him for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. The battery's dying and whatnot. Let's see. All right, so everybody typically people like get the impression that if you have both parents in the household that you got it good per se, especially like that's a popular thing in the black community. Like people like to almost bash people that had both parents in the household. But everybody has a struggle. Even people, rich kids, poor kids, single parents, no parents, both parents. Everybody has a struggle. So, what are some of the things that you kind of had to work on or that you struggled with growing up, like in your household?
So not to go into too much detail, just so not to put my parents on blast or anything like that, but just them learning to, cope with moving, and because we're a military family, so just being able to move from place to place and just adjusting to life's different obstacles that are thrown to them. That was something that my family and I really went through. And then me on a personal level, me and my father growing up, we used to bicker all the time. It's that tough love. My mom always says that it's because we're the exact same person. So we always have to have the last word, or our voices have to be the bigger one out the two. So that was something that I struggled with, and towards like the end of college, the beginning of college and end of high school, that's when it really started to peak for me and my father. There was a point where there was a wall in between us. I would hang up if he would call me, or I wouldn't even decide to talk to him. But we're slowly repairing that right now. So, yeah. Yeah.
When they're 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
It's the coming of them. I got a 17-year-old at the house right now, and he's so eager to run out to Norfolk State. You know what I mean? He just got accepted to Norfolk State, thank God, like I got him to college, you know what I mean? But he's so eager that, like, he talks to me like, I can't wait to get out of here and be on my own. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for you to get out there and be on your own too, because it's scary. I don't know a lot of people in here, but I grew up in New York City, and at one time I was homeless in New York City. At that age, 19, 20 years old, I have nowhere to live, and I'm living in the streets in New York City, and I had to survive that. Y'all got it made these days and times. Y'all going to colleges, you know what I mean? Y'all got dorms, but your father only wants the best for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hands down, me and Neil just had the same episode you just explained today with my son in the car battery going dead. He acted a fool, and you guys act like y'all deserve it at that age, you know what I mean? But everything that you want comes with work. And now you see it now, because I commend you. Like, I went, checked you out and read your story, see what you do. Very, very smart human being, but it came from somewhere, and I guarantee it came from your father.
It's nice to have that type of perspective in here.
I know when he watches
Papa
this, he's
Joe.
going to be
Uncle Joe.
smiling like a mug. He's like, yeah, it's all me.
Come on, Hakeem. We got to be careful with him.
Oh, God. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so the biggest problem I had, like with my peoples, was kind of like understanding.
Yeah.
Cause I have both my parents in my household also, but my parents don't understand like the criteria of college.
Yeah.
Because I mean, both my parents never went to traditional college, so when I got here, they were kind of like, this is a new world. Like they kind of had to learn through me, but I'm also learning on my own. So like, how do you help your parents learn as much as you're learning?
That's a really good question, because so my thing is my mom went to college. My dad went, but he didn't finish. And there's actually a battle that we've had. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm very business oriented. And starting my sophomore year, I wanted to drop out. To this day, I still want to drop out. And I didn't want to finish.
We don't drop out.
Well, that's what everybody's telling me, you know what I'm saying? I had this vision, I had this goal for myself, because I was like, if I'm making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, well, I'm a full-time student with Full Belly Delights. Can you imagine what would happen if I wasn't a full-time student and
Y'all
I just
niggas
put,
hiring?
school? Huh?
Y'all niggas hiring?
No, we not hiring. I put it on. Were you not here when I said I put it on pause until I moved to Houston?
Go ahead and go to
Yeah.
Houston. I need a job.
I got you. I'm gonna fly you out. We'll talk
No,
about it.
flew
We'll-
me
we'll-
out. I need you to I need you to flew
I
me out.
got you.
Fly you out.
No, I need her to flew me out. I need to be flued out.
But but having them in that situation was kind of interesting because once I said that, my mom was more understanding than my father, and she went through college, so she know the struggle. Like, well, she doesn't know how it is now because I really feel like times have definitely changed in the last 25, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? But she was more understanding, where my father was like, no, you need a degree. You're not going to be able to get to where you go without it. I'm like, and I'm looking at my dad. He's the person who's driving a Tesla with 6 figures. I'm like, you didn't even finish. You have certifications. Why do I need to do that? And then, like, my mom's just working her normal job. I'm like, why are you preaching that to me? And then why, so just talking to them. Communication is just the best way to do it, even if they don't understand.
Communication is hard, man.
Yeah,
Like, TV
it is
definitely
hard.
has raised me. If y'all watch Degrassi, everything I know from Degrassi and there's the classified middle school, high school, and college. That's
Not
what
even
saved
gonna
me for
flex.
real.
I never seen that show a day in my life. I just know Drake was in it. That's it. Yeah.
Hey,
And then he just
Drake told me not to get shot.
Yeah.
I never seen
Huh?
it.
Yeah, that's what I knew. He got shot, right? That's all I knew. Yeah. Yeah. But just definitely communication with your parents. And even then, even if they don't understand you, at least you got your voice out. Because there's been times where I've said it, and then they don't get the message right then and there. But maybe a week or two later, they're like, I want to talk to you about what you said. I thought about it, and I know that times have changed. And, I appreciate that. I accept that, and we're going to be here to work with you. And if they don't, hey, it's your life. You got to do what you got to do. They already lived theirs. So,
That definitely comes.
yeah. 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 Right.
Your family in the house talking, like my son tries not to talk to me, but I can tell every time something's wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm quick to say, when you ready, I'm here. Because the hardest thing being a father, talking to a male child, is having your son talk. Boys are always afraid to talk about sex. Like, that's
Yeah.
number one cliche. Nah, I don't want to hear that. But I'm a guy. I know what's going on. So I got to be open. I have to be open. I've been through those episodes where I had to take my son to go get psychological therapy because he was going through issues in school. So I tell everybody in here, if you got a child, if you're experiencing kids, like, learn to talk. Kids are fragile today.
Yeah.
If you don't talk to them, things can go terribly wrong.
Right.
I would say learn your parents' communication style because everybody receives information differently. So if you know how they receive information, like maybe it's an analogy and they'll get it, or maybe you have to be just super direct and blunt with.
I got militant parents, so yeah, both of my parents. So like once I say it's kind of set in stone. So this is how I feel. We don't really do too much of the back and forth.